In 1952, baseball was at the forefront of culture in the U.S.
As a fly ball hit out to left field, and the Yankees are champions.
Teams like the Brooklyn Dodgers and New York Yankees attracted thousands of fans during the summer months.
Look at him go.
Jackie Robinson, Duke Snider, Yogi Berra, and a 20-year-old outfielder named Mickey Mantle had fans flocking to Ebbets Field and Yankee Stadium.
The New York Yankees, 4 runs.
St. Louis fans adored Stan Musial. Phillies fans had Richie Ashburn. And even the basement-dwelling Pirates had Ralph Kiner and Dick Groat to attract fans to Forbes Field. Kicked off by Bobby Thompson's memorable home run off Ralph Branca to clinch the National League pennant for the Giants in 1951, the summer of '52 was an iconic era of baseball and a window into the future of America's pastime. But there was one player, perhaps the most popular player in the country at the time, who fans could not see in 1952. Ted Williams. Ted Williams, a U.S. Navy pilot during World War II, was involuntarily recalled to serve the USA again, this time in the Korean War. Serving that year between January 1952 and July 1953. The 11-time All-Star and 2-time MVP was absent from one of the most memorable years of baseball. No Teddy ball game at Fenway Park, no splendid splinter to push the Red Sox into the postseason. As it happens, Williams' absence from baseball was not just about his absence on the diamond. The baseball card market also suffered. Ted Williams, because he wasn't around for a year and a half, has no baseball cards by a major manufacturer between 1952 and 1953. This was a fact not lost on the two baseball card giants at the time, Topps and Bowman. With the two companies embroiled in a winner-take-all battle for baseball card dominance in the early 50s, both sides knew that whenever Ted Williams came back from Korea, obtaining his rights to print his baseball cards would be paramount. Legions of young collectors would almost certainly flock to whichever brand could deliver the first Ted Williams card in years. Then in 1953, when Ted Williams returned, Topps was ready. Led by unrelenting marketing genius Cy Berger, Topps was prepared to offer Ted Williams the largest sum of money ever given to a baseball player to print their baseball cards. While the actual dollar amount is unknown, it was reported to be 10 times higher than the usual amount for players, which was around $250. Ted Williams, whose contract with Bowman's company, Gum Inc., had expired while he was away to war, agreed to the contract. While the usual Topps contract with players was a one-year deal, with an automatic renewal at the end of every year, this time Topps upped the ante. A 5-year deal between the two parties ensured that Topps could print Ted Williams cards exclusively from 1954 until 1958. Eager to capitalize on their newest prized possession, Topps designed their upcoming 1954 release with not one, but 2 Ted Williams cards in the set. Williams would be featured on card number 1 and card number 250, the first and last cards in the set. It was the first time any major card company had printed the same player twice in one set. Almost immediately, Topps' gamble to pay Ted Williams prices for Ted Williams cards paid off for the Brooklyn-based company. Within 2 years, Topps' competitor Bowman was out of the market, eventually selling off all of their sports card licenses to Topps for a fraction of the value. Topps continued to print Ted Williams cards throughout the 5 years, but this time limiting Williams to just 1 card in the set. After 1958, Ted Williams was free to sign elsewhere, eventually landing a deal with Fleer in 1959. The two 1954 Topps Ted Williams cards are important to the baseball card hobby, not just for the history behind the card, but their modern-day value as well. In high grades, the two cards sell for well into 5 figures, with the all-time record sale going to a PSA Near Mint Plus 8.5 that sold for just over $53,000 in 2021. Card number 1 holds slightly higher value than card number 250, especially in high grades, as it is sometimes subject to condition issues like rubber banding. But the history behind these cards goes beyond their dollar value. These cards represent the much anticipated return of one of baseball's most beloved stars, and much like the other iconic players and cards at the time, a memory of baseball in its golden age.